There are some big items in a home that aren't doing anything wrong, but the moment they exist, the room loses its ability to breathe. Nothing is messy, nothing is dirty. They're just too large, too heavy, and too present. You have to sidestep a chair, twist your body to pass a cabinet. Your eyes tighten the second they land on a crowded shelf. The space isn't small by square footage. It's tight because your body is constantly adjusting just to move through it. I used to think this feeling meant I needed more storage, more shelves, or a smarter system. But I eventually realized one oversized item in the wrong place can make a room feel like someone else just moved in, even when no one did. In this video, I'm breaking down 10 types of space-hogging items that take up far more room than they earn, and how to deal with them in the right order, without a full reset or an all-day clean. Fix just one large piece and the room shifts before you even think about it. You feel at first like finally exhaling without realizing you've been holding your breath. Let's start with the fastest mood shift crowded by sight. There's a kind of overwhelm that isn't about dirt or real mess. It's about your eyes having nowhere to land. The floor can be clear, but your brain still feels full. Because everything is showing at once, a too big faux plant layered decor, packed shelves, little vignettes in every corner. I don't start by cleaning everything. I start with one gentle rule. One area gets only 1 to 2 big visual items. Big means anything that grabs attention: a plant, a large frame, a decor cluster, a vase, a statement piece. The rest doesn't have to go straight to the trash. Just move it out of your line of sight or donate it if you already know you don't love it anymore. My most honest deciding filter is simple: if I'm dusting it regularly. And I don't even like it goes first, because it's taking space and taking energy with no payoff. I used to have a shelf that looked cute but felt tiring: candles, frames, faux greenery, little gifts. I kept the 2 pieces I actually wanted to see daily, and put the rest in a store it for 30 days box. Nothing dramatic changed, but the room got quieter, like someone turned the volume down. Once my eyes relax, I move to what exhausts my body the most. Anything I have to physically dodge, every day. And if this quiet the room approach feels like you're kind of decluttering, the next video is going to help too. I'm breaking down the clothes that take up the most space in your closet, and how to tell which ones are worth keeping without turning it into a whole emotional project. Next is the test I do anytime my home feels off. I walk my real-life route. Some days I'm not irritated because things are messy. I'm irritated because I have to navigate my own house. I tilt past a chair, twist around a cabinet thread, the needle just to carry something through. So, I do the footprint test on the route I live the most: front door, kitchen, bedroom. No cleaning yet. Just walk and notice where you keep nudging, shifting, lifting, or sidestepping things. If an item forces that adjustment daily, it's not just furniture, it's a bottleneck. My rule is clear: bottlenecks first, donate it, downsize it, or relocate it. You don't have to fix the whole house. Open one pathway, and the whole place feels lighter. I had a small accent chair near the kitchen walkway. In my head, it was cozy. In real life, it collected jackets and bags, and I twisted my body every time I carried a pot through. One night, I almost bumped it and spilled food, and I thought, am I making my life harder? To keep a chair. The chair left. The house didn't gain square footage, but my body stopped bracing. And once your pathways open up, you usually notice the most forgotten storage unit of all: the patio deck or balcony. Okay, real talk, outdoor spaces are where clutter loves to hide. Not because we're lazy, but because we keep things for a reason that sounds so responsible, in case we have people over. Extra chairs, an extra table, a bench nobody sits on, a giant storage bin full of mystery, old cushions from furniture you don't even own anymore. And little by little, the one place that could have been your everyday exhale turns into a holding zone for rare events. So I like to ask one question that cuts through the guilt. That's how many seats do we actually use on a normal week? Not a birthday party, not Thanksgiving, a normal week, 2-4. Keep that number. Because when your everyday life gets crowded for a once-in-a-while moment, You pay for it every single day. And for sometimes, you can use sometimes solutions folding chairs, borrowing from a neighbor, renting, even just saying, we'll make it work. Occasional needs don't have to occupy daily square footage. Here's a 5-minute move that helps your brain stop negotiating. Go outside and pick the single biggest just-in-case item. The extra table you never wipe down. The bench that's turned into a drop zone. The storage bin you haven't opened in a year. Put a sticky note on it that says, out. That's it. You're not committing to the whole project today, you're just changing the item's status in your mind. It stops being a permanent resident and becomes a decision waiting to happen. I had a huge storage box out there for the longest time. Inside was old cushions, broken string lights, a half-used bottle of cleaner, and a pile of I don't know where this goes stuff that I clearly didn't miss because I hadn't touched it in forever. When I finally let the box go, I kept one chair I actually sit in and a small table for my water or coffee. That space went from storage to sanctuary without a full makeover, without buying anything new. And once you reclaim that breathing room outside the next category, is the one that doesn't just take up space. It takes up emotional energy every time you walk past it, abandoned workout equipment. Now we're getting to the heavy one workout gear you don't use. It's not only big, it's a quiet reminder sitting in your home. Every time you walk past a treadmill or bike, you don't just see clutter. You feel a little sting, I should be using that. I don't tell myself to be tougher or more disciplined. I use a fair rule: if it hasn't been used in 30 days, sell it or donate it. Because if you haven't touched it in a month, your current life rhythm probably doesn't support it anymore. Keeping it won't magically make you exercise, it just keeps you feeling behind. A sentence that helps me release guilt is, I'm not giving up on health. I'm letting go of a tool that no longer fits my life. Walking outside a 10-minute routine, moving your body in a way you'll actually repeat those habits. Belong near your real life, not anchored to a machine that dominates your room. I held on to something once because I'd spent money on it. Then I realized the money doesn't come back by keeping it. It just turns into a daily shadow. Once it left, the room opened, and my mind got quieter too. And after the guilt items go, there's one more sneaky big item problem: storing furniture for other people. Last in these first 5, the I'm being nice, clutter holding items for someone else. I'll keep it in case they need it. I've said that. It sounds generous, but the truth is they don't live in your house. You do. You're the one walking around the extra bed, dusting beside the spare dresser, seeing it every day and thinking, I still haven't dealt with this. These held items usually end up in the guest room, basement, garage, supposedly temporary. But temporary has a way of turning into years. And during those years, your home loses space and your brain carries an invisible unfinished task. What I do now is simple direct question plus a deadline. No deadline means it stays in limbo forever. Copy/paste text message. Hey, I'm reorganizing my home. Do you want the If not, I'm donating it this Sunday. Most people will say, oh no, go ahead and donate it. And the lightness isn't just the space, it's the mental relief of closing a loose end. And once those I'm holding it items are gone, something funny happens. You start noticing furniture that isn't even doing its job anymore. But it's still taking up room out of habit. All right, now that the big, obvious stuff is out of the way, let's talk about the furniture that's still here. Out of habit. Not because it's useful, not because you love it, just because it's always been there. A lot of homes feel crowded because we're living around furniture that has retired quietly. A dresser with mostly empty drawers, a side table that became a parking spot, a chair that exists to look nice but never gets sat in except by laundry. Here's the habit I use when I can't tell what's worth keeping: the 80% test. If a piece of furniture has been 80% empty for 30 days, it's not really storage, it's a footprint. And that's your clue to either let it go or trade it for something smaller that fits your current life. I did this with a dresser once. I realized I kept opening the top drawer and everything else was basically air. But the dresser still took up a whole wall and made the bedroom feel tighter. I removed it, moved the few items into the closet, and the room immediately felt like it had space to breathe, even though nothing new was added. When you release furniture that stopped doing its job, the next thing you notice is what's been quietly acting like a magnet for random stuff: your shelves. Next is the one that sneaks up on you shelves that don't have a clear role. They look harmless, even pretty, but when a shelf doesn't have a job, it will automatically become a landing pad for, I don't know where this goes. That's when your home starts feeling like a storage unit because you're not storing what you use. You're storing what you've postponed. So I use one question that sounds blunt, but it saves me every time. What does this shelf do for me on a normal weekday? If I can't answer that in one sentence, I don't need that shelf as a shelf. I either reduce what's on it by half, or I remove the shelf entirely. One of my shelves used to hold books, baskets, random decor, a candle. I never lit a stack of to deal with later. It looked organized and still felt heavy. I cut it down to the one category it actually served things we truly use. And suddenly the room felt less like it was holding inventory. And once shelves stop acting like parking lots, you can finally see a huge footprint many of us built during the pandemic. The home office setup. Okay, now we're going to reclaim serious floor space without decluttering 100 tiny things. Because a lot of us accidentally built a full-time home office for what is really a part-time need. If you only work at home occasionally, you don't need an entire ecosystem, the extra chair, the filing cabinet, the desk that's too big, the old monitor, you never plug in the printer that mostly causes stress. That setup makes sense when you use it daily. But when you don't, it turns into a whole corner dedicated to piles and guilt, like the room is quietly judging you for not being organized enough. So I like to set a minimum that actually matches real-life laptop plus one paper home. That paper home can be one drawer, one slim file bin, one tray, just one. Everything else has to earn its footprint. If it doesn't get used in a normal week, it doesn't get to live out in the open like it's essential. Here's a quick test that helps. What do you physically touch during a normal work-from-home day? Not your best day, not the day you finally sort everything. A normal day. Usually it's your laptop, a charger, maybe a notebook and a pen. That's it. The rest is often just in case equipment taking up daily square footage. I've seen people keep a giant desk just to hold a laptop they could use anywhere. Once that desk is gone or swapped for something smaller, the whole room becomes usable again. A reading corner, guest space, a floor your kids can actually play on. Space that feels like life, not work. If you want this to be easy, pick one item today, one thing that's big and rarely used, and label it mentally as not a permanent resident. Sell it, donate it, or recycle it when you're ready. And speaking of things that quietly become permanent residents, kid gear is next. This one is so common, and it's not your fault kid gear moves fast, but the gear doesn't. Strollers, high chairs, big ride-on toys, activity centers, baby swings, these things are huge, and they often get kept temporarily until they become permanent. A lot of living rooms feel blocked, not because the family is messy, but because the house is still set up for a stage your child already grew out of. So I do a simple rhythm every 2 to 3 months. I do a quick stage check. What has my kid clearly outgrown? What hasn't been touched in weeks? What do we have to do every day? The rule is gentle but firm. Outgrown means out. Sell it quickly, pass it on, donate it, whatever is easiest. The longer it sits, the more it starts to feel normal, and then your home slowly trains itself to live cramped. I remember an old baby item living in a corner just for now. Months later, it was still there, and I was still walking around it like it was furniture. Once it left, the pathway opened. The room felt lighter in a way I didn't even realize I needed. And this brings us to the part that makes decluttering actually last, because without this, everything slowly fills back in again. Last tip, and honestly, this is the one that keeps you from repeating the same cycle every season. Decluttering doesn't fail because you're lazy. It fails because there's no outflow. Stuff comes in constantly. Birthdays, hand-me-downs, sales, mail, random upgrades, and without an exit system, the house will refill. Guaranteed. So I make it embarrassingly simple. I keep a small corner called Out this week. It's one bag or one bin, not a whole garage project, just a clear, visible place where decisions can land. Then I choose my channels ahead of time: donate, sell, or e-waste. And I set a real schedule monthly or quarterly so the out pile doesn't turn into another pending pile. Here's the line that changed everything for me: the floor is the finish line. The maintenance rhythm is what keeps you from starting over. Deep cleans and big declutters feel good once, but the rhythm is what keeps your home breathable. I'll put 5 minutes on the calendar to drop a donation bag. I'll book the e-waste day. I'll list one item for sale and let the rest go. Not perfect, just moving. And when your home has a real exit, it stops feeling like a place that only accumulates. It starts feeling like a space that can reset and stay lighter. So that's it. Those are the 10 big item categories I look at when a home starts feeling tight. Not to chase perfection, just to stop living in that constant feeling of squeezing, sidestepping, and adjusting your body all day. You don't have to change everything at once. Pick the one large thing that's stealing your breath the most. Handle that first, and let the space show you what lighter can actually feel like. In the next video, I'm talking about the clothes that take up the most space in your closet, the pieces that crowd everything out, so you can decide what's worth keeping and what's quietly making getting dressed harder. This helped at all, like letting me know what actually landed. And subscribing is a simple way to keep building a home that feels calmer and easier to live in one small shift at a time.